It's a weekend for staying in and wrapping up and keeping warm if you can. Now that's unless, of course, you're getting married. Fergal Conroy, Siobhan Kitchen, you're both very welcome to the programme.
Good morning, Will.
Guys, this is a big weekend. How long has this been planned?
Since the 1st of January this year, so that's the day we got engaged.
But naturally, on the 1st of January, you'd no idea this weather was going to strike on the weekend that you would tie the knot. So how has it affected the plans, Fergal?
Well, sure, Will, it's only in the last 24 hours or 48 hours that things are starting to get a little bit worrying for us. But sure, it'll all go ahead, and sure, it'll be lovely to look back on with a few things up our sleeve, but they might not happen. But we're not going to rule them in or rule them out yet. But it'll be a lovely, memorable day for both of us, and we'll get there. And she probably will be late, and sure, I can't give out to her for being late in these conditions.
Well, that's the idea, anyway, isn't it? To make you wait, and make you sweat. But Siobhan, you have relatives in England, so is that causing a problem for you?
Well, so far, not really, because my parents have been over since the 1st of November for another wedding that we were at, and my Uncle Dominic and Auntie Heather, they came over last week. At the beginning of the week, they travelled over. They were very brave. And we also had Father Sebastian, who's a friend of ours, came yesterday. He flew from Exeter Airport, and they're braveness. So, and I have a friend driving down from Belfast today. So as long as people are safe, I don't mind what goes on, as long as they're safe.
Yeah, well, your friend travelling from Belfast at least has the benefit of the motorways for most of the journey anyway.
That's right, yeah.
Fergal, where would your relatives be coming from?
Well, sure, most of my relatives, I'm a born and bred Malik man, so most of my relatives are local. I have family connections in Durham and family connections in Dublin and Portarlington and local areas. But I have a few friends. I have one close work colleague that I used to work with years ago, and he's actually out in Poland working, and unfortunately he won't be able to make it. And I have a good school pal from Malik, Michael Dowling, and he was stranded in Stansted yesterday, and the likelihood of him making it's not going to be today as well. But in fairness, our families have been very, very good, and they're putting out all the efforts to try and make it for us on the day. And sure, we can just have to go ahead, and that's basically it, you know.
What was the plan to get a helicopter to Birr? I see some mention of that.
Yeah, well, Siobhan is a nurse, and I suppose of her character, she's a very caring and loving person, not just to me, but to her work as well. And one of the things that we spoke about early in the year was actually she wants to visit the hospital where she works in Birr. And for logistics-wise, for time-wise, we had organised a helicopter from Malik to Birr to visit the hospital and the patients and her work colleagues, and then to fly on then to Athlone to the Hudson Bay Hotel. But
that's where the reception is.
That's where the reception is. Yeah. So at the moment, we're still, it's not ruled out, but with the weather conditions, and if there's snow still forecasted, it wouldn't be too nice to be frozen up there, you know.
So, out of curiosity, Siobhan, how did all this start anyway? Where did you meet him?
It was actually a blind date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Myself and Fergal are both in our early 40s, and one day, and my uncle said, my Uncle Brendan said, I think Fergal Conroy would be a nice catch for Siobhan Kitchen. So, and we met. And,
how did your uncle know him?
Oh, a long time. My mother's actually a Mount Mellick native, so that's how I come to be in Mount Mellick.
Right.
So, no, my Uncle Brendan still lives in Mount Mellick, you see. So he went, that would be a nice catch. And then, as they say, our eyes met, and within a couple of weeks of knowing each other, we knew that was we were each other's.
So it was almost love at first sight then?
It was.
And Fergal, I assume it was the same for you, that when you clapped eyes on Siobhan, you were smitten straight away?
Listen, straight away, Will, to be honest, yeah. Siobhan said actually my best man is a second cousin of Siobhan's, and I've been invited to his Christmas parties for a number of years, and I was sort of like the gooseberry there for a while, but that all changed. That all changed in November 2008, and when I met Siobhan, just to go as a friend, but sure, the friendship grew from the first night nearly, and we got engaged, as I said, in January 1st of January 2009, and so we knew immediately that was it. Like, and it's been roses ever since.
You got engaged very quickly then.
It was only this year, Fergal.
Sorry.
All right, so you got engaged after about a year, and then a few months, 10 months later, you're tying the knot. So you're together about 2 years of this.
That's right, yeah.
Beautiful. Very good.
2 years, 2 years, I think, actually, officially, she, I think, would have been coming to meet my family here, I think, actually, this weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
She says that with relish. Was it a pleasant meeting, Siobhan?
Was very pleasant, I have to say. The Fergal family have welcomed me with open arms. I now consider them my family. Like, you know, they're such special people.
Very good. Very good. I'll never forget the first time I met Alex's other parents. They are in the north, in an unionist area, shall we say, and I was greeted with the Union Jack on arrival and all the red, white and blue, but it was all put on now for show, but it was scary, to say the least.
I didn't get that. I did visit England. Siobhan is from St Helens, near Liverpool, and Manchester, over that direction, the northeast. I mean, if you should probably correct me if I'm wrong anyway. But I was welcomed with open arms by both her dad and Mum, John and Claire, and the rest of her family. And it was, I thought I was like a celebrity there for the first weekend. I was there with shaking hands.
There's a great fuss made. Well, that's good. That's good. So are you going to escape all of this weather and go off on a honeymoon, or are there any plans?
Well, we had planned to stay sort of local next week and go maybe down the country or somewhere, but we hadn't had time to think about it. We'll get tomorrow. We'll get the big day over, and we'll see what happens over the weekend. And we might do something different down to the weather conditions here. And it's not. We were hoping to go to Italy in the New Year.
Lovely. What part of Italy?
Not exactly. It's probably Sorrento or somewhere like that. In that direction, you know.
Well, you have to go to Rome at some stage. I'll give you one piece of advice: go to Rome.
Yeah, well I have visited Rome.
Yeah. Oh, it's magical. Magical Rome, really is. Guys, congratulations. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Will.
Take care, God bless. That's Fergal Conroy and Siobhan Kitchen, who are tying the knot in these freezing conditions.